and happy tanning season, because that's exactly what it is it's tanning season because the sun's out and it's nice and warm. Today's video is just regarding being successful in everything that you do. And that sounds a little like, how is that possible? But actually, it is possible. If you put your whole heart into everything that you do, you're not going to fail. You're not going to be perfect at it, but you won't fail. And how I look at that is praying before you do everything and making sure that you're putting God before you do it. Because if you leave it up to yourself, you're not going to do it the way that you'd like for it to be done, right? The execution sometimes is not there when we are doing it on our own. But if you're praying about it before you do it, I swear you will succeed. Even if you're not the best at it, you'll end up victorious. And that comes in regards to your profession, your way of raising your kids, your business endeavors, whatever it is that you're doing. If you are praying and you're keeping God first before you do something, you will be successful. And so regarding business, your best way to, in my opinion, be successful in your business would be to focus on what your short-term goals are. So if your short-term goals are going to be, maybe for a year you want to build your business, then you write that down and you keep that goal for yourself and you pray regarding that goal. And I'm different, I guess, because I don't really like discussing my goals with people, because I'm definitely the type of person, if I have not executed something, I don't see the point in sharing it, right? So if I have not actually completed something, I really like to kind of hold it, like keep it to myself before I announce it. Now, when I've completed something, that's when I like to share, okay, this is what I've been on the adventure trying to get done for a year, right? And finally, it's come to a conclusion. Let me tell you about how the journey started and leading up to, the conclusion. So I love that. And not everybody's that way. Some people like to share before, and that's fine too. But I love to keep my dreams, goals, aspirations, like to myself, like a secret between me and God first. And then once I've completed that dream, goal, etc., then I'll announce it, because maybe it would inspire somebody else who might be on the same journey and may not have like an idea of what that looks like for them. The other thing is, don't look around you. It's good to be inspired by others, but never want to aspire to be like others, because reality is, I can't be you, you can't be me, we can't switch places. Nor would we want to, because I think if we understood that being somebody else would be very awkward and weird, that is why God designed us to be ourselves. And who you are is amazing and more than good enough. So don't ever feel like, oh, if this person is ahead of you in some regard, that they have it better off, because you don't know how, again, their adventure started, right? So focusing on your own adventure and focusing on how you are going to execute whatever your conclusion, right, to that chapter of your life would be, then that is how you want to deal with it in terms of the way that you're moving, okay? So again, first step would be write down your goal. I want to do X, Y, and Z at this time, and pray about it. And then figure out what are some steps that you can do to get to this goal, right? So if your goal is to, hypothetical, I want to make this much money at my profession. This is where I'm at right now, but I see that trajectory rise if I make this movement, or I go to this training, or maybe I get this higher level of education, then I can get paid top tier pay at my profession. Or I'm leading a group and I want to make sure that I'm being a good leader. How can I be able to do this on my own? And the thing of it is, you're not going to be able to do it on your own. So I'm saying you have to pray first and ask God to give you the correct guidance in order for you to lead the way that you're supposed to. And I'm not speaking necessarily in terms of like ministry leading. I don't mean that, but I mean leading, whether it be you are a manager, you are somebody who's giving guidance to other people, you are somebody who is maybe a teacher, right, of some sort, whether it be dance or a curriculum, whatever it is. Just asking for guidance so that this way you're doing it and people are receptive to what you're doing. And I feel like people's are receptive because they're actually touched after your prayer to want to be receptive to you, right? Because people don't have to listen to anybody. Like, none of us have to listen to another person, right? You guys don't have to listen to me. And for the, I believe, 35 subscribers that I have, thank you, because I have a whole classroom full of people that actually want to listen to me. I think that's really cool. So thank you. That's awesome. But yeah, just making sure that you are focusing on what your goals are. Again, not looking left, not looking right, like keeping straight ahead. Having a just a plan. Like, it's got to be a design. Like, everything has to be designing your life, right? And consistency. Consistency is another thing. We can say, hey, I want to do X, Y, and Z, but without consistency, nothing actually can be done, right? If I say right now, I want to be a bajillionaire, right? Hypothetical. Well, what are the steps you need to take for that? Well, first, I would need to figure out a way to maximize my income. And second, I would need to figure out a way to be able to maintain that maximized income, and so that I could achieve that set goal. And then maybe, how do I continue to build that wealth in the future so that I can actually achieve this particular lump sum, right? So there is again, consistency that I have to have in order to make that happen. I can't just say I'm going to do this today and then tomorrow stop the steps to go forward in making that come to fruition. So that's another thing, holding yourself accountable and having consistency. Because a lot of us, we say, oh, I'm going to do this, and there's no consistency with it. That is why we should be praying every day. I feel like when you train yourself to pray every day, that is a huge form of consistency. And that is, respectfully, the consistency that God requires of us who believe in him, is for us to have consistent prayer with him, right? Have consistent conversation, okay? And that models throughout your whole, like, everything that you do in your life. If you have a consistent, thank you, Father God, for a new day. Thank you, Father God, for my food. Thank you, Father God, that my body is working the way that it should. Thank you, Father God, that, if you have family, my family is healthy. If you don't have family, thank you, Father God, that those that I love are healthy. Just consistency with that. And if you have consistency in your prayer life, respectfully, you'll have consistency more so in your life, because if you're praying before you do things, it just turns out better. There's no, honestly, other way for me to explain that, but it just turns out better because God's in it, right? And anything that God is in, it's just 100% better than what it would be if we were in it, right? So keeping your consistency, keeping your pray about it first, then move, pray, then move. I have done the moving and then praying. It didn't turn out too well on many occasions. So I would advise that you pray then move as opposed to the later option. Okay. And lastly, don't compare your situation to anyone, right? We spoke about wanting to be others or having a timeline with others. Never compare your situation with anybody else, because everybody's situation is totally different. Everybody's ladder to success is going to be totally different. Everybody's doors of opportunity are going to be totally different. So if somebody is on this, form of or place in the ladder right now and you're not, congratulate them and just try to do what you can do to get to where that person is on your terms, not on their terms, okay? Because God's plan for that person is not God's plan for you. Whether you're the same age as that person or not, do not feel bad about that, because I feel like a lot of people end up self-sabotaging themselves because they're like, oh, well, this person's married and, or this person has kids, or this person has a house, or this person has this money, and we're the same age. You're the same age, but you're not the same design. God puts his fingerprints on everybody completely differently. Like, we all have his signature, but it's a different signature. It's called DNA. We all have a different DNA. Unless you're identical twins, everybody has a different DNA. So for you to expect that your life trajectory, your income, your relationship status is going to be just like somebody who has a totally different signature than you is silly. And it's a waste of time. To stop wasting your time. And if you are a social media junkie, I advise for you to get off of it and look around you at the real world, because this is the real world, okay? Social media is not the real world. And that's also a way, respectfully, to block your blessing or to self-sabotage. or to find an excuse as to why you're not moving the way that you should be moving, or why you're not the where you should be, and then the pity party comes in and the woe is me. Stop doing that. Okay? Write down your goals. This is what you want to do. This is why you want to do it. This is the timeline that you have. Again, the first thing being prayer. If I'm being honest, I would say it's wise to keep it to yourself. Pray as you are doing it. Look back at what you've written down as to what you want to do for your life. And then after you've done that, right, then you can make another goal for future. But you can be successful at anything that you are doing. You just have to have prayer, consistency, accountability, and again, no comparison. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful day, wonderful week. Enjoy tanning season, because I know I am. I'm looking at my color right now on the camera. It looks amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, bye. God bless you.